We're back. All right, guys, so Tuesday's programming, snowing in the Finger Lakes, so hope you enjoyed that. Tomorrow's warm-up, 5 times. You're gonna go 24 mountain climbers and then 8 good mornings. After that, you're gonna do 3 rounds of 10 twisted cross and 10 bird dogs. So mountain climbers, again, we've been using these a lot. Plank position, knees come up, alternating feet every time. Don't do them in slippers, they don't stay on very well. After that, you've got 8 good mornings. So feet right under your body, soft or slight bend in the knees. Just hinge back, stretch out those hamstrings. Make sure that the belly stays nice and tight the whole time. Shoulder blades are pinned back. After that, you've got 3 rounds, 10 twisted cross, 10 bird dog. So twisted cross, that is going to be chest to the ground. So here, arm out at 90, and then other leg comes up and across. Stretch out that low back and that shoulder. Alternate sides. Do 10 total, 5 per side. Then come up to a tabletop position. You can go through your bird dogs. So opposite hand, opposite foot. Create a nice straight line. Try not to overarch toward the ceiling. Touch the knee to the elbow. Back out. And again for these, you've always got your RX Plus version, which is going to be from a high plank. Alternate hands, alternate feet. Try and go through that. Once you're done with 3 rounds, tomorrow is going to be your handstand push-up day. So skill work, strength, 5 sets, anywhere from 3 to 10 handstand push-ups, depending on where you are. Or you're going to do 5 piked push-ups with your feet on the chair, couch, or you can even do them on the floor as well. Again, a couple things I want to talk about before I show you guys a quick drill for the handstand push-up. Always, 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 tripod positions. So if I was on the ground right now and I was in the bottom of a handstand push-up, I should be able to see my hands and my peripherals. So I should never have to turn my head to look at my hands. They should always be far enough in front of me that I can see them if I were to look side to side. And that's true whether you're doing a pike or whether you're doing a handstand push-up. So again, if you're gonna go piked, feet on an object, butt up nice and high, legs are as straight as you can get them. And then you're gonna walk the hands back so that your hips are up over your head. And when I come down, I'm gonna touch the top of my head. I can see my hands and then press my head through at the top. And you'll do 5 sets of 5 there. If you're gonna do handstand push-ups, again, you have a rep range anywhere from 3 to 10. Again, do these strict if you are able to. One thing I want you guys to notice, so come on over, if you are going to do kipping handstand push-ups, practice not having your butt on the wall on the bottom. So when you come down, so kick up to the wall and then descend, bring your head to the mat. That should always be the order of things. Your head should always touch first and then you're gonna bring your butt to the wall if you're gonna do that. But practice not putting your butt on the wall. It forces you to balance a little bit more and it forces you to actually engage your hands, use your forearms, and not really kind of slouch and get lazy with your midline. So rather than in the bottom being like this, here, practice being here. So that you have to actually do all of the balancing work yourself. It's going to be a little bit more challenging, but it's going to, again, make you better in the long run. So it's just something to kind of play around with, especially if you're proficient. And again, with these, you can always stack up a couple pillows. So if you want to work on the skill, make sure stack up 2 or 3 pillows, reduce that range of motion a little bit just so that you can practice. So that's your handstand push-ups. After that, tomorrow's workout is some intervals. So the conditioning, every 4 minutes for 6 total rounds, you are going to do 30 to 50 double unders, 10 push-ups, 10 devil's press, and then 10 hang snatches. So for the double unders, first things first, 30 to 50 reps. 2 to 1 single unders if you have jump rope. Otherwise, you can do jumping jacks or you can do jumps to a low object. So again, like a stair or something like that, something that's a couple inches up. Most important thing is that whatever you're doing, you're practicing bounding. So you're practicing staying on your toes the whole time. You're not resting on the ground in between your jumps. Double unders, again, 30 to 50 reps. It should take you no more than a minute. So don't work for more than a minute on your jump rope or your scaling option. After that, you've got 10 push-ups. You should be able to get through those in 1-2 sets at most. So again, scale appropriately. Your push-up scaling options, again, I would always go hands high. So go hands on the edge of a couch, on a chair, something like that. Make sure when you come down, elbows are tucked into the side of the body. I'm touching the ground or my object right around my bra line, and then I'm gonna press all the way back up with a nice planked tight midline so I get full extension of my arm. And again, push-ups, you can go on the ground if you've got those. After that, devil's press, fun. So if you have 2 dumbbells or if you have 2 kettlebells, do this with both of them and scale the reps a little bit if you need to, because it'll be really hard and a lot of fun. But for the devil's press, what that is, it means you are going to perform a burpee. Sorry, more burpees. I know you did a bunch yesterday. Everyone's very, very vocal about how many burpees they did today. But when you guys go down to the ground, I'm going to demo with 1 dumbbell. If you had 2 dumbbells, or if you had 2 dumbbells or 2 kettlebells, it'll be the exact same. But what happens is you're going to burpee down to the ground, so chest all the way to the ground. Once I'm done, I'm going to jump up from my burpee, and then I'm going to swing the dumbbell. You're going to swing overhead. I'm going to swing it pretend overhead. And I would be going all the way up here. I'm just going to stop here for kind of demo purposes. And then you're going to come back down to the ground for your next rep. Burpee, here, swing, all the way overhead, back down. So again, it's a burpee followed by a between the legs to overhead. If you're using 1 object, you're going to do all the reps on 1 arm, and you're going to alternate arms every round. So again, you've got 6 rounds today. So you'll do your 10 devil's press on 1 arm the whole time, and then you're going to do 10 hang snatches with your dumbbell. So same thing. Once I finish that last devil's press, all the way overhead, I'm just going to come back to that hang position, load like I was in a kettlebell swing, so chest nice and tall, send my hips back, load into my hamstrings, and then just go through my 10 hang snatches. Again, I'm doing a hang clean because ceilings. When you're done, you're going to rest for whatever time is left of 4 minutes. At the 4-minute mark, you're going to start your next round. You're going to do your double unders. You're going to do your push-ups. Then you will do your devil's press on your other arm. All 10 reps. And then you're going to do 10 hang snatches, all on the other arm. So again, you're going to do this whole round on your right side, and then on the next round, you're going to do the whole round on your left side. If you happen to have 2 dumbbells of the same weight or 2 kettlebells of the same weight, totally fine. You can go ahead, you can do it with 2 objects. I will show you guys what that looks like real quick. So just so you can see. So I'll show you guys with kettlebells. So if you have kettlebells, Echo's killing her toy. Please don't do the burpees with your hands on the kettlebells. That's just silly. Don't do that. So if you have kettlebells, you're going to keep the kettlebells just outside here. You're going to burpee down here, and then when you jump up, hands on the kettlebells, you'll swing in between your legs, and then again, I would go all the way overhead, but I'm stopping at the shoulders because of the ceiling. Then you'll go back down, kettlebells outside, burpee, here, swing, up, down. And if you're doing hang snatches, same thing. You're just gonna go between the legs with both and then up overhead. So a lot of hip action today, hip flexion, hip extension. Most important thing is that when you're doing the devil's press, when you're doing the hang snatches, really try and keep your back flat the whole time. It's gonna be really easy to want to round when you come off the ground for the devil's press. Try and avoid it. So when you jump up, again, I'm gonna go back to 1. When I come off the ground, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to set my back. So I'm gonna pretend I was about to deadlift something, grab this so that I'm already engaged. I'm gonna hike it back, and then boom, go into my rep. So again, always hike with a nice flat back. Otherwise your back's gonna be super sore tomorrow and it's not gonna be very fun. So that's your workout. 6 rounds every 4 minutes. After that, you've got some accessory work today. So the accessory work, 3 rounds, you're gonna do 12 tempo weighted hip thrusts and then 24 tricep extensions. For the hip thrust, so again, your back can go, honestly, just on the edge of the couch is probably the easiest thing. So you're gonna put your upper back on the couch. From there, you're gonna put some object on your lap. So again, rucksack or a loaded backpack would be your best bet. You can also just lay a kettlebell, you can take a plate, whatever you'd like. But what's gonna happen Again, once I've got my shoulders on the edge of the couch, object on my lap, I'm gonna drop my hip down to about 45 degrees, so as if I was kind of sitting in a chair. And then at the top, I'm going to squeeze my butt and hold for a 2-second count. Then I'm gonna come back down nice and slow, squeeze, hold for a 2-second count, and you're gonna go through 12 reps just like that. When you're done, you've got 24 tricep extensions. So if you've got a band, you can do your banded tricep extensions. Otherwise, again, you can take a kettlebell, take a dumbbell, and you can do a skull crusher variation. So lay down on the ground, grab your object, and then you can go through your skull crushers. So most important thing, anytime you're doing any of this tricep work, is that the elbow stays in place the whole time and then blocks back out. Elbows in place, blocks out. So there's no other movement of the rest of my arm from elbow up. It's locked in the entire time. Then when you're done there, I'll just stay here. You've got a little bit of mobility, so single leg saddle pose. You're gonna tuck your foot back. Shoelaces face the ground. This is primarily a stretch for the thigh and for your quad. So again, I'm just gonna lean back a little bit here. If I am flexible enough, you can lean back further and further, and it's gonna become a little bit more of a hip flexor and a little bit more of a low back stretch. You're gonna do 90 seconds on one leg, then you'll do 90 seconds on the other leg. Then after that, you've got a figure 4 stretch. So leg's gonna come back in here. I'm gonna tuck it in, try and make the number 4 right here. And then we're just gonna lean either down the middle or you're gonna lean down your foot. So if you go down this leg, it's gonna be a little bit more of a stretch for your QL and for your hamstring. If you come down the middle here, it's gonna feel a little bit more just like kind of your normal erectors and your low back. So you can do it either way, it's up to you guys. But that's your training for Tuesday. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, or you can reach out to us. And again, whenever you do the workouts, tag the appropriate gym, either Forged by Zeus, Palace.Ithaca, or CrossFit Queens. See you guys soon.